Ali Abdaal has over 6 million YouTube subscribers. I'm going to break down exactly what he did really well on his channel so that we can learn from it. I'm going to do a deep dive into his YouTube channel and go right from when he started to where he is today and show how his videos got better over time and what he did to actually gain over 6 million subscribers. So Ali Abdaal has over 6 million subscribers. On the channel, he has 1,100 videos or so, right? Now, when you look at his YouTube channel, and you can see that, he has been on YouTube for a long time, right? He has videos here posted from like 9 years ago, 8 years ago, etc. So the first thing that we notice is that this has been a long journey. His was not overnight success, right? He has been in the YouTube game for a long time, and he has been consistently posting and creating content over the last 8 years, right? And that's the thing with Ali. If you look at his videos, here you have him singing there, and then you have him giving advice to medical students, and his content changes over time. He's not afraid to experiment with his content. If his content serves him for a particular time, he doesn't necessarily stick to it forever. And his content was helping medical students pass their exams, etc. But he was not afraid to pivot when he needed to. And when you look at his first thumbnails, right, these thumbnails, they're not the greatest thumbnails. And that's why when you're starting your YouTube journey, please don't feel like you need to learn everything all at once. He learned how to create better content over time. Like, I watched some of his earlier videos, and in some of them, the audio wasn't the best. You can see that, yes, he was a great speaker right from the start, I would say, but you can also see how he improved his communication skills over time. Because I feel like in Ali's earlier videos, some of them, he seemed more robotic when he was talking, but now when you watch his latest videos, he's much more natural, much more calmer. Not calmer, right? Because he's already a calm guy, but I think like he's more of himself now. And that's the thing. You can see through a famous YouTuber's YouTube channel how they progress over time. And sometimes I think we want to rush the process. When you click on his most popular videos, he has a video here, passive income ideas, 13 million views, how I type really fast, and that's at 10 million views. And how I actually discovered Ali Abdaal is one night I couldn't sleep, went into YouTube, found a video. It was from him. I don't know who he was. And I thought, whoa, this guy, he's really good at YouTube. He's really good at communicating his thoughts. He can take complex topics and make it easy for you to understand. And what I got from him is that he provides value, right? That information that he gives you, it's valuable. You are able to learn from it. He's a good teacher. He's a great teacher, in fact. And that's the thing, are you providing value to the people that are watching your content? Are you providing value not only through information, but if you're an entertainment channel, for example, is your content helpful, or does your content make people feel good about themselves? So when a person watches your video, how do they feel afterwards? So when I watched his video, I thought, okay, this is interesting. This is useful information. I enjoy listening to him. He also has, a great speaking voice as well. But it doesn't mean to say that if you have a great speaking voice, then you are going to do well on YouTube. But if you provide value, I think that is a huge thing, providing value to your audience. And even his fourth most popular, how I ranked first at Cambridge University. So his unfair advantage was that, he is a doctor, he studied at Cambridge, and he used that to his advantage to help other students, right, medical students. But just because it worked, then it didn't mean to say that he had to stick to it, because he didn't. You can see how his channel also talks about YouTube. In fact, he also has a course where he trains people on how to actually improve their YouTube channels. And he uses YouTube as a way to actually make money, right? And he is honest about it. Some people view YouTube as a hobby. Some people view YouTube as a business. And yes, he gets AdSense money, but that is not where the majority of his money comes from. A great deal of his money actually comes from helping other people improve their YouTube channels, right? Through his YouTube training. And yes, he also gets brand deals and sponsorships, etc. So he was able to use YouTube to actually make money. And a lot of people don't know that you can make money on YouTube, not just with AdSense, but through other means as well. So when we look at his thumbnails, right, let's look at his latest thumbnails. Because, he is quite popular, when you see his thumbnail, you know who he is, right? And even like his last thumbnail, it doesn't have much text at all, right? And you can see, okay, these three, it looks pretty similar. The font looks pretty similar. So when you see his thumbnails, you can see, okay, it's his face, right? And just one word or few words. And sometimes he has thumbnails where he doesn't have his face. So again, he experiments with his thumbnails. He doesn't stick to one thing all the time. He's always experimenting. I think one of the big reasons why Ali Abdaal has been able to have over 6 million YouTube subscribers is that even though he's a doctor and even though he has achieved so much success, right, when he talks in his videos, it's not like he's talking down to you. It's like he's talking to you as a friend, right? He becomes relatable. Even though he has achieved so much, he is still relatable because he seems like a genuinely nice guy. So I think when you can have that kind of connection with your audience, where you feel like, okay, this person has achieved so much, but they don't have an air about themselves. Yes, they are confident, but they actually seem like they can be helpful, that they can help us. Then you want to actually learn from a person like that. But if a person had to come across and be full of themselves and have such a huge ego, then they wouldn't really be relatable. So I think what Ali Abdaal does well is that he is relatable, and that he seems like, genuinely nice guy. And he teaches in a way where it doesn't make you feel like, oh, you know nothing. But he teaches in a way where you feel like, oh, I can learn this. Oh, I can actually improve. So he gives you hope while teaching you. And I think that's important as well. And, he understands that YouTube is a long game, because he says, have fun with creating content. Like, he tries to inject the idea of enjoying the process of content creation. So on his channel, he has YouTube Shorts. The last live on this channel was 3 years ago, so he's not really active with lives on this channel. He also has podcasts on this particular channel. And then he has playlists. And even this Freedom Fridays playlist was updated 2 days ago. Now, playlists are important, and you can see he has many playlists, right? Playlists are important because if a person comes to your channel and they find a video and they really, really love it, right? For example, a video about deep dive conversations, right? Or even a video about my journey to quitting medicine. And they think, oh, but I want more information about this. They then don't have to really search for it because there's a playlist. You watch one, you can watch the next 3 videos, right? So playlists are helpful because it organizes your content. So it makes it easy for the viewer to actually go in and find more information about a certain topic. So he does a great job with his playlists, right? So he also has community posts. So under the posts, what would your freedom number be and why? And you can see he has 104 people who have commented. So he does a great job with the community posts. I'm still trying with the community posts on a small YouTube channel. Sometimes you hardly get any feedback, and that can be discouraging. But you keep going. And that's the thing about Ali Abdaal as well. He says, get started and keep going, which is difficult when you aren't seeing many views and you aren't seeing much results. But I think that so many of us give up YouTube because we don't see the results early on, and then we think it's not working, and then we quit far too soon. So Ali Abdaal is known as the productivity expert. He has written a book about productivity, but he's also really well known for how he creates his content. You can see through his videos that over time his production quality improved greatly, right? Really significantly. And he didn't always start off with the absolute best production quality because he was always providing value, okay? Value first. And that's the thing. When you're starting off on YouTube, you may think you need the fanciest equipment. You think you need the most highly edited, high quality video possible. But we tend to think, okay, that's what makes you an absolutely successful YouTuber, instead of thinking, okay, what message are we actually conveying to the person that is watching our content? And even Ali Abdaal, right? Yes, he was great on camera even from the start, but you can see he did improve over time, like the way he speaks on camera, etc. So when you are creating your content, please don't think that you have to be perfect from the start, because nobody is perfect. Not even Ali Abdaal, right? Nobody is perfect. And the more you practice, the more you get into the habit of creating content, you will become better over time. Because if you consistently put yourself out there and try to create content, it will happen, but it may not be a quick thing. It may not happen over 6 months or 1 year or even 2 years. It may take longer for you to see a significant difference, but you will see that difference. And that's the thing, you have to be patient. And even though Ali Abdaal makes so much money through YouTube, it's still difficult for him to be consistent. So even a big YouTuber like him admits that it's still difficult to sometimes be consistent. Like even this video, I didn't want to make this video, I'm tired. Again, he comes across as relatable. Oh, this big YouTuber, over 6 million subscribers. But even he finds it difficult to sometimes create content. Oh, there's hope for me too, because if he finds it difficult to sometimes have the motivation to create content, then okay, I understand why I can have dips in motivation too. So again, he becomes so relatable, right? So I think that, and I'm not saying that's a constructed thing. I'm saying that as humans, we want to be able to relate to other people. And he does use storytelling in his videos as well, telling us stories. Because when you use stories in your video, then you tend to get to know the person better, you tend to absorb the information better. So he tells us about how he studied medicine at Cambridge, how he did really well, how he became a doctor, how he worked with the NHS in the UK, and how, being a doctor in the UK is quite difficult, and how he then decided to go full-time with his YouTube, and he's been doing YouTube, but he's also trying other things. So you get to know so much about him. Even though you've never met him, you get to know so much about him. And when you get to know so much about a person, right, their story, not only what they are sharing or teaching you, but also about them, then, it's different. It feels more like a human-to-human connection. And that is what YouTube is so much about, having that human-to-human connection. And I'm still using to include more storytelling in my videos, because I often find it difficult to just put in a story. So I'm a 42-year-old YouTuber. I didn't grow up with YouTube. I find it fascinating, but I'm still learning every single day. I study YouTube because I think it's amazing that we are able to connect with people from all over the world. I think it's just mind-blowing. I really, really do. And my YouTube channel is all about being a small YouTuber, what I'm learning along the way, what I see other people are doing really well. So I showcase that, like this video. And I also talk about my failures as a small YouTuber. So if you are a YouTuber and if that interests you, do subscribe. So, we live and we learn, really, we truly do. So don't feel like you are in a rush to become this viral YouTuber, right? I mean, look at this. He has 1,100 videos. Okay, so sometimes, like, even on my YouTube channel, I think, okay, this particular YouTube channel of mine, I've created like 148 videos or so. But when I look at this channel, 1,100 videos, how much will you learn about YouTube after creating 1,100 videos? You will learn so much, okay? So we hate that dreaded word consistency, but he has been consistent. Ali Abdaal has been consistent, and he has improved his videos over time. He didn't like straight out of the park make a 10 out of 10 video, right? He learned how to do that by actioning. Right? Not just learning about YouTube, but by actioning it, by actually creating more content. So sometimes having quantity of videos leads to better quality of videos because you learn, okay, this worked well, this didn't work well, I can tweak this, I should have a better hook at the beginning of my video. So he learned these things through experimenting, through trying different formats, through putting himself in front of his camera time and time again. I must say, like, this video here is of him singing and he's playing the guitar. And, he just puts himself out there. Like, most of us are so scared to be seen. We are so scared to be, like, vulnerable on YouTube, right? We are so scared about judgment from others. But what I really like about Ali Abdaal is he takes chances. He puts himself out there. And, he understands that he has a healthy sense of self-confidence. So yes, if people are going to say something negative, it's not going to affect him that badly because at the end of the day, he knows his own self-worth. And that's why when you come onto YouTube and you create content, yes, there will be trolls. Yes, there may be people who say negative things, but you need to have your own healthy sense of self-confidence, right? To understand that when people say nasty things, it says more about who they are because hurt people hurt other people. So don't let the negativity from social media stop you from creating more content. Yes, sometimes it is so cringe to watch ourselves, right? To watch our videos, to see how we look on camera, to see how we talk on camera. Sometimes it can feel really, really like embarrassing, but think about it. You are putting yourself out there, just like Ali Abdaal did. He put himself out there. He stepped out of his comfort zone. He was a doctor and he tried something so different from medicine, right? He tried this. He tried to be on YouTube, and if he did not try it, he would not be where he is today. In fact, he says, like, he met his wife through YouTube. She's also a doctor. I mean, like, not only did YouTube change his life in terms of the money that he's earning, it also affected his personal relationships. It gave him freedom to travel, etc. So I'm not saying that with your YouTube channel, it's going to unlock all of this. I'm just saying that if we don't give it a real try, if we don't put in the effort, then we just don't know what results we could have had, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Focus on being consistent with your YouTube channel. And I know that it's hard to do, especially when you think like it's not going anywhere. And when you look at Ali Abdaal's earlier videos, like singing, then medical advice to medical students, etc., and you see all these earlier videos, right? He didn't know that 8 years later, he'd be doing a YouTube course and like helping people become better YouTubers, and he'd be like the productivity expert. He didn't know that. So sometimes we want so much clarity and so much certainty about where is our channel going to lead us to. And life is uncertain, right? You can have a plan in place, you can have a strategy. I'm all for that. But also life is uncertain. And sometimes we just have to take that next step. Okay, take that next step, create that next video. If your video tanked, see how you can improve the next video instead of dwelling on it so much. And I say this out of my own experience because sometimes it feels downright crappy. I mean, look at this video, flying a drone around Iceland, a winter vlog. Okay. So another day of fun. So he really tried different things. He really experimented and tried different things. And experimentation will unlock so much for you, you know. It will also show you what you enjoy talking about. It will also show you what you enjoy creating content around. So YouTube isn't all doom and gloom. YouTube is also fun. It is frustrating as well. It is deeply frustrating at times. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. As a small YouTuber, it can be really, really hard to manage the highs and lows of seeing views, not seeing views, getting subscribers, people unsubscribing. It can feel like a lot to contend with. But remember your why. Why did you create your YouTube channel? Why did you create your YouTube channel? Use that as your motivation to keep going. And remember, you are slowly but surely building an audience, one subscriber at a time. The thing is, when we are small YouTubers, we often fail to realize that even big YouTubers started just where we are, you know. And being a small YouTuber can be incredibly challenging. It can be so frustrating at times. And you feel like, okay, where is this all going? Where is it leading me to? And I think that's also the joy and the frustration of YouTube, is you don't know for certain, you know, what your next steps are going to lead to. And that is why it's important to enjoy creating content. Because yes, have your goals in place, but we focus so much on the destination that we actually sometimes fail to enjoy the journey as well. And it sounds so cliched, but you know, life is worth enjoying. And if you are dedicating so much of your time to YouTube, might as well enjoy the process of creating content. And I know that sometimes we think, okay, when I get monetized, how much will I start earning? Will it be loads of money? You know, for some people it is, for some people it isn't. I have another YouTube channel that is a monetized channel, and I break down how much I've earned on that channel, and you'll be surprised. So go ahead and watch that video next, and comment below and let me know, where are you watching from, and what do you think about your own YouTube channel? Have you started a channel? Are you going to start a channel? Let us know below. And my channel is all about being a small YouTuber, what I'm learning along the way. And if that interests you, do subscribe. Have a fantastic week.